Hello, my name is Matthew Stanke and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I review movies because that is what I do best. And today is the third review in my series of Halloween reviews. And that movie we're going to be taking a look at today is one of my favorite movies of all time and one of the greatest horror films of all time, Alfred Hitchcock's seminal 1960 film, Psycho. Now, Psycho stars Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, and John Gavin. The plot revolves around Adrienne Crane, who steals $40,000 and goes on the run. She stops for the night at the Bates Motel, run by the eerie Norman Bates, and realizes that there might be something a little off about him and his mother. Alright, I'm so excited for this review. Let's get into the positives on this film. The acting. Anthony Perkins gives one of the greatest performances of all time as Norman Bates, carefully blending creepiness and a childlike sense of innocence to create one of the most memorable and scariest killers ever put on screen. Janet Leigh is also fantastic as Marion Crane herself, playing that role with a snarky cockiness in the beginning and then with an intimidated sense of regret as the film goes on. The other cast members are great, playing their characters respectively and extremely well, but it's those two, and especially, I can't say this enough, especially Anthony Perkins, that are absolutely perfect in this film. They are fantastic. Alfred Hitchcock is another fantastic positive on this film. Hitchcock outdoes himself with this film and cements himself as the master of suspense because of it. He crafts sequences of terrifying tension and calculating intensity, making the entire film from the Bates Motel onward a game with many unseen twists. The plot. It may not seem like much now plot-wise, since almost every horror film is about a killer hunting after his prey, but for 1960 this was the first slasher film ever made. The plot is so good that it kick-started the horror genre like no other film had ever done. It's been copied, homaged, and even remade in 1998 over the years, and it continues to inspire many writers even today. The soundtrack is tight, crisp, and horrifying, with the sharp sounds of the violins screeching during attack scenes, adding a horrible sense of savagery to the film, which is basically devoid of any realistic horrible violence. Atmosphere is what adds fear. Any film can show someone getting stabbed, but it's with music, camera angles, and sound design that help make a scene scary. And no other film does this better than Psycho does, in my opinion. It is as terrifying as real life, and movies aren't real. And so for a soundtrack and all of these different things to be able to make you afraid to get in the shower, it really says to how good this film is. This is a fantastic film. Alright, let's get into the one single negative for this film. The ending. This has been talked about for decades and theorized and explained countless times again and again, so I won't even talk that long about it. But during the scene where the doctor is explaining Norman's condition at the end, he basically feeds the audience every single bit of information so that no one in the audience won't understand what was happening. That takes some people out of the story because it's so contrasted against the rest of the film. But it never really affected my enjoyment of the film that much. Sure, it's a little tedious, but remember that at the time, the audience had never seen a film with a twist or an ending like this ever before. They may seem simple to see now. I watched it recently with a friend of mine and they saw the twist coming a mile away, but back then they were unseeable. That's why the scene is in the film, but otherwise this film is basically perfect, guys. Psycho it's basically perfect. Alright, I'm going to read the conclusion because it basically sums up my opinion on how much I love this film. Psycho was unlike anything ever seen when it debuted in 1960. The twist was so shocking and important, even Mr. Hitchcock himself sent rules to the theaters pleading them not to let people into the theater who arrived late. By the way, if any of you think I'm going to spoil the ending here in this review, you're dead wrong. If you've never seen this movie, immediately watch it after this review. And if you don't know the twist at the end, I implore you to just watch it. Don't Google it because even one single picture could ruin the ending, and you do not want this ending to get ruined for you. I am completely serious. I know I joke a lot, but I'm completely serious with this. If you don't know the twist and you don't know anything about this movie, turn off this review when it's done and just go watch the movie. Don't research about it at all because it could get ruined for you, and if you ruin it for yourself, you're missing out on one of the greatest twists in cinema history. It's so well made, with its impeccable, frightening atmosphere, an intimidating and fierce villain, great characters, excellent and groundbreaking direction from Mr. Hitchcock, and one of the greatest plots to ever grace the silver screen. Psycho is a film that you must see at least once in your life. And I can't think of any better time to do so than the month of October, this month, Halloween month. So if you haven't seen the film, see the film how I first saw the film. Order a pizza, grab a couple of friends, and sit back while you enjoy one of the most enjoyable rides a film has ever produced. Just don't think of the film the next time you take a shower. Alright, I'm going to rate Psycho a 5 out of 5. This is the first perfect score on this channel. Psycho is a masterpiece. If you have not seen it, I suggest go and watch it right now. It is such a good film. Alright guys, thank you so much. If you have seen the film, tell me if you loved it or if you had a problem with it down below. Post review requests in the comments down below as well. If you'd like to subscribe, hey, that's great. I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the feedback. It really keeps me going with this channel and I really appreciate it. Alright, I hope you guys have a great October because mine's going great so far. More Halloween reviews are coming soon. And as always, go watch movies. Bye-bye.